I want to share a few lessons that I've learned along the way, Suraj, if that's okay. And then if you want me to answer questions, I'm happy to.
That'll be wonderful. Go on.
Okay, so these are lessons I've learned along the way. I think these are lessons that all of you are going to learn in your own experiences. But these are things that are true with every founder that I've spoke to, both successful and unsuccessful. Number one, this is something that you have to get really good at. Every startup begins with a story. It doesn't start with numbers. It doesn't start with your degree. It doesn't start with where you live. It doesn't start with how badly you want this to succeed. Sometimes startup founders, especially really early ones, they'll begin a story by showing how desperate they are for this thing to work. If you want to get somebody's attention, tell them a story. And you have to master what your story is, what makes you unique. So I think that's really critical. Master how to tell your story. The second thing is fundraising is very hard. And it's because investors don't speak the same language as you and me. We speak the language of helping people, trying to solve problems, doing good things, and really, really wanting our startups to succeed. That is not the language that investors speak. And so try to learn what they're interested in. Try to learn what gets them excited. Try to learn what turns them off. Once you can speak that language, it gets a lot easier to go to them and ask for money. Also get used to hearing a lot of no's. I mean, this is obvious, but some of you probably already heard no many times. You're going to hear no several times. One of the best strategies that I heard for this is there was a founder who gave himself a target. And he said, I'm setting out to fundraise and I won't be happy until I hear 100 no's. So he flipped the psychology so that he actually started looking forward to getting no's because he was checking it off the list, right? And he knew that by the time he'd get to 100, he'd get at least one investor because 1 out of 100 people is going to be crazy enough to invest in it. And so that's what he did. And he's like, I set my goal. And you know what? By the time I got to 50, I got my first check. And I never even wound up getting to 100 because I just set that goal for myself. So you're going to hear no, get used to it. So much of it is just staying in the game and not tapping out. A lot of it is just perseverance. Don't get fooled by startup porn. You're going to be like inundated with all these success stories. And some of you might be thinking, oh, this guy Mohammed has a success story. No, man, this came out through like blood and mistakes and tears, and I couldn't sleep at night, and we got attacked by QAnon and all this crazy stuff that like, it's not a linear story and it's not supposed to be a linear story. So don't pay attention to all these, oh, I raised, $5 million with an idea on the back of a napkin, and like, oh, I came out of, Y Combinator and I had to fight investors off. Like, it's not going to be that way. As you get successful, it could become that way, but don't focus on that. Just focus on, keep your head down, play your game, tell your story. And the last thing is really important. This is a personal thing of mine. Just help as many people as you can. When you put that goodness out into the world, that spirit of help and cooperation, man, God and this universe is going to reward you with a whole bunch of karma coming your way. And it's going to give you the fuel that you need on those down times where you're just going to be really down. And you're going to get a call out of the blue and you're going to say, and a person to say, hey man, you remember when you helped me with this thing? I just got an invite to this event. Do you want to go with me? And that's the benefit of helping people. You help people with no expectations of getting anything in return and just watch all the good things that'll come your way. Those are my lessons.